Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default. Last time, we explored the insides of Grandship's engine room, and found out it was infested with monsters, but we made our way through in attempts to find a way to stop Grandship from sinking. And in this episode, we may have found exactly what we're looking for beyond this point with the adventurer, which normally doesn't bode well for us. But while we will be confronting whatever it is over here in order to stop Grandship from sinking, there is something else I want to do beforehand. Now, I want to go ahead and preface this. I am someone who does not think this game that you need to actually grind to beat this game. However, I do think it makes certain encounters I do think it's very beneficial for certain encounters, as I have shown off a few times already with very minimal grinding. And while I will not promote that I think you should, grind to level 99, within the first 10 hours of the game to make things easier for you, because you can, I do want to make a suggestion right here, right now. If you want to, everything beyond this point is very doable, but if you want to, I would suggest doing a little bit of grinding, very specific grinding, to be in fact, right before we continue on in the engine room here. What kind of grinding, you say? Why? Some ninja grinding. Ninja, as we saw in the previous episode, has access to a lot of evasion-style attacks and abilities, like Transients evade 10% up, and especially Utsusemi. I am going to be, again, this is completely optional for everyone else here watching or playing along, I am going to be leveling up Ninja on every single party member up to job level 4 to learn Utsusemi. The biggest reason for this is I want access to the evasion tools that those abilities from job level 2 to 4 will bring. So then the question is, where do you want to go to grind? Well, it's not a very long or difficult grind, so honestly, any current game area might work. Grandship engine room, or the scorpions out by Eisenberg that use pheromones to spawn in more enemies. It's quite useful. I'll be utilizing the engine room here to grind, but you do you, Another major note as I am about to begin this session is, if you are afraid of being over-leveled after a session of some kind, you can go into the difficulty options and turn off EXP, Peak, or job points gained after combat. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I will be turning off EXP gains, so I do not over-level myself. I'll keep Peak on, and of course I want job points on. I don't think Peak is really all that important to worry about having too much of, as having a lot of Peak is quite useful. And money isn't really hard to come by, especially if you're utilizing a few certain merchant strategies that I haven't gone over in the main game, but that my job overviews will cover. Another important thing to think about when starting a grind session, no matter if it's long or small, is where you start. And this is the exit point to enter back into Grandship proper, and it has quick access to an inn, so I'll be grinding right here at the entrance. So let's start moving everyone over. Because Idia is already on Ninja and job level 6, and I'm leveling up everyone and doing a small grind session, I don't think I'm going to move Idia from Ninja, and she'll just get a huge head start on how many job levels she can gain. She might even be job level 9 by the end of this. In terms of what I'm going to be doing to set this up is I'm basically going to be equipping two-handed and a lore ability on everyone that I can, and then giving them a weapon that they are now proficient in. That way we can optimize this a little bit better. We'll be giving Ring a Bell. I think it'd be best if I just slap the Flame Tongue on him. And then on Yes, we'll be equipping a staff on her so she can be basically our proxy healer. And then once you're ready to go, you just run in circles and off you go. There's Transients learned. Just 2 more levels to go. There's Evade 10% up learned. Alrighty, for everyone who isn't Ring a Bell, you're going to be gaining a job level, starting with Idia, who learned the Cleave support ability. And Tiz and Agnes learned Utsusemi. Unfortunately, Ring a Bell died at an earlier point, so he will have to wait a little bit. In other news, Idia learned Cleave. Has a chance to perform an additional attack after defeating a target with a conventional attack. Note that the chance goes up the more damage you deal in relation to the defeated target's remaining HP. So basically, this is sort of similar to multitask, but the prerequisite in order to activate it is based on killing enemies and how much HP they had whenever you did defeat them. It's a lot more situational, but it can still be very useful if you're utilizing single target regular attacks to take down enemies. So, you know, it could be useful. While Agnes and Tiz did get Transience and Utsusemi, which is what I'm mostly going for, I am actually going to level up one last thing on Tiz. He only needs to reach job level 4 in order to have access to certain sword magic abilities, so I'll be swapping him over to Spell Fencer and having him level up some stuff there. Alrighty, there we go. Ring a Bell is done learning ninja stuff, and Tiz learned sword magic level 2, but we want level 3. There we go, Tiz gained job level 3, just one more to go. And with that last fight, that's sword magic level 3, which is something that I wanted on Tiz for a long time now. And I finally got it. So let's heal up, put everyone back to their original jobs, and get ready to go back to the adventure. Back at the adventure here, we still have a few last little things to cover. First things first, I do want to go ahead and check up on Narende Village, as we haven't done that yet. So, the Valley Parts Shop has been completed, with special move parts, 50% power boost, and BP bonus level 1 being added. And some gifts from the trader. Next up on the list, we're going to be upgrading the River Parts Shop for the special move parts to Dragon Slaying, Cure Stop, and Stop Resistance Up. This again will be the only thing we do this episode, so... oh boy, 31 minutes for 100 villagers. So, the whole reason why I wanted to level up Ninja was to give everyone the Transience support ability, so they can counter after evading an attack. And the reason why I have that is I'm going to be equipping Job Command Ninjutsu on everyone except for Idia, who's obviously already a ninja, to give them access to Utsusemi, which will allow them to guarantee evade a physical attack. So you can probably see a little bit where this is going. Trust me, this makes the encounter coming up much more doable. And I think that's about it. Let me take one last look at my preparations and special moves. I think we're about ready. Let's update what we've got here. Now that Ring a Bell has access to giving us BP boosts on his rejuvenation. Alrighty, I think we're about ready to go. So, when you have made your final preparations, head this way.
So this part of the engine room is the heart of the ship. This place gives me the creeps even worse than before. More writing in the script of the Crystal Adventists. Insert Orichalcum.
Hold up, everyone. I think we're about to encounter some kind of beast.
Huh? Did it say that in your journal?
Forget about the journal. I can feel it breathing down my neck.
Hello there, King of the Sea. This is the Behemoth. His stats will be on the right side of the screen right now. The Behemoth is a physical king, being able to deal heavy amounts of single-target physical damage and some fairly dangerous debuffs. If you're not utilizing a strategy that I'm going to be using right now, make sure to bring a lot of status ailment cures, as you're going to need them. But our general strategy for this is going to be applying Utsusemi to every single individual as much as possible. This will allow us to avoid most of the Behemoth's attacks. So let's prop it up. Now, he might not there we go. So as we can see, we avoided it and transienced him. Now, a big thing about the behemoth is we might not be able to outspeed him with everyone. But for, you know, the Utsusemi will allow us to avoid him and counterattack. Now, Ringabel and Anyas are not going to be doing that much damage. But the Utsusemi will at least allow them to live. Now, Tiz, unfortunately, utilized up his Utsusemi, so we're going to have to reapply it with him. But everyone else that now has a free dodge coin on their bar right here can actually begin prepping stuff. So we're gonna have Ringabel default, and we're gonna have Idia default. Actually, no, we'll have Idia apply the Sword Magic Thundara, as the behemoth is weak to electrical attacks, as we saw with the Raikiri doing weakness damage. And then Anyas, we're going to have her apply the Love Power. Actually, yeah, we'll have her apply Love Power. I'm a little afraid that if the behemoth decides to actually land a physical attack on one of us, that it'll do a little too much damage. That was Roar, an AoE physical attack, which will remove everyone's Utsusemi and will not proc transients. So we've got to do it again with everyone except for Tiz, who now has access to his moveset, which I think I'm just going to have... I think I'll go ahead and have Tiz default to get an extra BP charge. Obviously, Ringabel's going to have to Brave and heal up Tiz. Let's just do all allies, just in case things go wrong. And then he has to reapply Utsusemi. Utsusemi is going to be a constant in this encounter, where we need to constantly apply it and reapply it. Honestly, it might come down to the point where Utsusemi is where most of our damage comes out. But as long as we have an attack boost, I'm okay with that. There's Toothy Rend, don't be on Tiz, please. Oh, it was on Idia. No! Yeah, unfortunately, outspeeding the behemoth is the hardest part of the strategy, as he does so much damage. But we've got to find a way into his defenses. So let's go ahead and apply Moon Shadow to him. And everyone still has Utsusemi up, so let's go ahead and have Tiz attack. And then Ringabel... We'll go ahead... Actually, no. We'll have Tiz bring Idia up, as he has an extra BP charge. Ringabel will heal everyone, even if it doesn't catch Idia. And then Anyas, I'm going to have her apply a I got your back, to increase our physical defense. There's Venomous Bite. So Ringabel will need to reapply his Utsusemi next turn. This will do some decent damage. 8,393. Nice. We're going to speed things up. As you probably know, you probably understand the general gist of this encounter. Tiz has Utsusemi, so let's go ahead and have him just attack normally. And then Ringabel, he will need to reapply Utsusemi. So Idia, we'll go ahead and have Idia Brave twice. We'll have her pop Utsusemi and then utilize her own special. And then Anyas, we will have her heal. Having two healers will also really help with this. Tip damage is the name of the game here, as I am too afraid to utilize most of my support abilities. Alright, we need everyone except for Ringabel to reapply Utsusemi this turn, and we're gonna have Ringabel default. Unfortunately, Idia is kind of gonna be in a bad spot for right now, but I'm sure she'll be okay. There we go, hit Ringabel. And then, unfortunately, we don't really have any decent way of attacking the guy, so let's go ahead and just default. Ringabel will need to reapply. And then, I'm gonna be a little greedy here. I'm actually going to apply Thundara to my weapon and have Idia go full out. And then have Anyas apply our defense bonuses. Oh my goodness, it was so much damage. And she couldn't do it because it was silenced. Yeah, Roar has a chance of silencing people, which unfortunately I was not expecting to happen, so that was a bit of a downside right there. And we need everyone to reapply Utsusemi. We'll need to have Ringabel heal everyone up. Let's go ahead and... Actually, no, if he dies, he dies. And then Anyas reapply Utsusemi. This is the best way, in my opinion, of keeping the damage under control. There's the poison, but that's okay. Poison's not really that big of an issue. So, it's fairly challenging. There are many ways of taking this guy down. This is just my preferred method. It's a little slow, yes, but it gets the job done. We're going to have Ring-a-Bell create a concoction of 2 Fulmin shards to make a Pantheon's Wrath. This will deal decent damage as well. And then we're going to have on, yes, let's increase our speed with Love Rush. There's Roar, which will deal damage to Idia. Maybe we can outspeed him now. We need everyone to reapply Utsumi, though. Alright, we'll have Ring-a-Bell reapply Utsumi and then heal. You guys get the general gist. There we go. Idia will need to reapply Utsumi. And then Anyas, I'm going to have her reapply our defense boost, as I don't... Actually, no, we'll be okay. So she's going to reapply Utsumi. There we go. Looks like everyone's outspeeding the behemoth now. 2-3 Rend, we all dodge. There we go. We need to reapply our defense bonus, though. So we're going to have Tiz default. Ring-a-Bell will need to reapply. We're not in any real danger right now. Idia default. And then Anyas, you need to reapply our physical defense just in case things do go south. Actually, we shouldn't need the physical defense down if we can outspeed him constantly. He's definitely still fairly healthy, but we'll see what we can do. There we go. We're going to have everyone default except for Idia, who needs to utilize Utsumi. And this will be the main test of our speed increase, as now everyone's Utsumi is down. So let's go ahead and up it with everyone. Anyas will need a Brave, so that way I can keep the speed up, and we can also Utsumi. 1, 2, 3. Alright, everyone, we can outspeed him. Okay, that's good to know. Let's shoot the Rend. Okay, we're in a fairly decent spot. We can have Ring-a-Bell heal now that he doesn't need to reapply. We can have Idia reapply, and then Anyas default. We're slowly building up BP charge here. This is a slow burn the way that I've built this strat, but it works. It works, trust me. And with each time we're defaulting with Tiz and Idia, we are actually slowly getting back to their specials, as katana wielders need to default in order to activate their specials. So, we're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Thanks to Tiz having a free turn, I'm going to go ahead and cure him of this antidote with his own action, just because it's annoying me. And with Ring-a-Bell, since we have a free turn, I'm going to go ahead and compound another Pantheon's Wrath. And then Idia will need to reapply Utsumi. And then let's have Anyas reapply... actually, let's have her default. We're going to have Tiz use Shipujinrai here, as I want to make sure that it goes out first. Ring-a-Bell needs to reapply his Utsumi. Then Idia's perfectly fine, but let's go ahead and have her cleanse her own silence so that she can actually utilize her her sword magic. And then Anyas, I'll have her re-up the Love Rush just in case it's about to go out. There's the damage bonuses from the Raikiri. Shooting Rend, which you don't have to worry about, plus the transients. We're gonna have Tiz default again. Actually, no, he will need to reapply his Utsumi now. We're gonna have Ring-a-Bell default. Idia, we're gonna have her up her sword magic to Thundara. And then Anyas, let's go ahead and prep a Love Power. Actually, let's do 2 Love Powers. There we go. Luminous Bite. We had a little bit of a rough start, but this is starting to really come our way. So we're going to default a little bit. Default. Anyas needs to re-up, so let's do Utsumi. Oh my goodness, look at that damage. And Tiz's special is up. Let's go ahead and use it. And we'll go ahead and have him Utsumi again. I don't want to get too greedy. Ring-a-Bell will default. And Idia will go ahead and brave most of her BP away. And then I'm going to have Agnes re-up Love Rush. There we go. With the extra element from Thundara plus multitask, she's going to be doing a lot of extra damage here. And that was even without the Moonshadow bonuses. And there we go. There goes down the Behemoth. A fairly different fight in terms of how I approached it. There are a lot of ways to tackle this boss fight. But that's, in my opinion, the safest way. It may be a little long-winded, but I think it's very consistent, especially if you have the tools to keep your speed up in front of him so he can't ruin your momentum, so to speak. We had a little bit of a rough start, but we made it through. And Tiz learned Before Swine, the job level 8 skill. And Idia gained a job level and learned Evasion 20% up. And we gained an X Potion and Arctic Wind for our troubles.
That was a close call.
And whose fault is that?
All right, let's insert the Orichalcum. I'll do it. You should all stand back.
What's happening?
That can't be a good sign.
It seems to have subsided.
I wonder what it did. Oh, it's you, Dats. And the proprietress.
We've evacuated all the townspeople, except for our friend here, of course.
The ship stopped sinking. It's no longer at a lean either.
What of the townspeople? They'll be heading back in droves, right?
Actually, they all say they've had it with this ramshackle ship. They're sailing off to various other realms as we speak.
Legend has it that Grandship was built by pirates. Perhaps that blood is still in us.
Well, at least everyone is safe. That's a relief.
Look, there's a wheel in the council chamber. Hard to starboard. Full speed ahead.
Hey, stop fooling around, Ring-a-Bell. You too, Adia.
I wonder what this button does. It's glowing.
Like I said, quit messing around. This isn't ours to tinker with.
The residents have left the ship and don't appear to be coming back. Women are drawn to men with a wild streak and a hint of danger in their eyes.
How about you stop spouting nonsense and push the darn thing?
All right, then.
Huh? Hey! It's taking off! This is an airship!
How on earth does a ship this large get airborne? Amazing! We're up so high!
Amazing!
Well, I'll be. She can get up to twice the altitude of the echelon. We could probably cross over into the duchy on this, Idia.
Easily! Yay! Now we can go and awaken the Earth Crystal!
Well, Agnes, shall we make for the Duchy of Eternia?
Yes!
That settles it. I'm staying too.
You want to go with us?
You must all be famished. I'll get the kitchen ovens fired up.
Grandship. No terrain can bar your progress now. The world is your oyster. To land, find an open area and press the A button. When landing in water, you can sail off into the echelon. The airship menu. Lose your boat after disembarking Grandship? Not to worry. That's what the airship icon at the bottom of the map menu is for. Give it a touch. We can sail off into Eternia with this. So, I don't think there's any reason to delay. Let's head down.
Lord Marshal, we've just received word that Grandship has vanished.
Vanished? You mean to say it has sunk?
We know little as yet, but it seems Grandship's inhabitants have evacuated en masse. And according to what we've heard from them, Grandship did not sink, it simply vanished.
How is such a thing possible?
Alternus, where is the Wind Vestal now?
After a brief stop in the kingdom of Kaldisla, she entered Grandship before it vanished. Her current whereabouts are unknown.
Muster our forces with haste. I will have every last soldier be made ready for war!
Yes, your lordship. But may I be so bold as to ask, why? Our land of Eternia is an inviolable realm ringed with lofty highlands. Surely, even one such as the Wind Vestal could not...
It is my hope I make much of naught. Yet we cannot leave matters to hope or chance, for we now have but one crystal under our control.
Could it be your lordship's daughter is providing the Vestal with information about our defenses?
Victor, hold your tongue!
No, his fear is not without merit.
I bring ill tidings! An enormous flying vessel has been sighted over Southmore, and it appears poised to alight there.
Ill tidings? I fail to see how such a vague report is anything of the sort.
Suffice to say, sir, it's a veritable fortress, far beyond the size of an airship.
Could it be Lord Marshal?
This is the Wind Vestal's doing.
Do you mean to suggest Grandship has taken flight? That it has surmounted the highlands that defend our land? How absurd. Spare me your flights of fancy.
How do our defenses presently stand?
They stand ready for war, as your lordship commanded. And our troops in Frost Peak Passage and artillery at the summit are prepared to engage at any moment.
We shall join the defense effort. Victor, is the demon child ready for war?
I beg you, call her not a demon child. That is, if you hold your life dear. And whether Victoria goes to war is not for either of us to decide. The decision is hers alone.
But is she not receiving treatment as we speak? When she worked her magic upon me, she seemed more than ready for battle.
Her fits grow in frequency of late. Is she not nearing her limit?
There is no cause for alarm. None whatsoever.
Three, 7. It's been 4 years since I stood here. The fortress stands grim and imposing as ever. Just what do they aim to do with a sword that large? My guide greeted me respectfully, but I suppressed my desire to break his face. Ugh, enough. Stop talking. I know about this land and its resources without your yapping. Mithril steel, an exceptionally hard metal refined from locally mined ore. Upwards of 80% of the world's mithril originates in Eisenberg's mines. In rare cases, the same veins have yielded orichalcum. And orichalcum, which is an extremely precious metal found exclusively in Eisenberg. Its durability is unrivaled, making it ideal for use in weapons and armor. Also notable is the extreme amount of energy released when the metal is melted under high pressure. It's all common knowledge. Does he think we don't have schools? Upon entering, I found the place utterly unchanged. I still have that old memo on the Starkfort's status and layout. We soon arrived at the top floor. Just how long do you intend to chase at my heels? When I barked at the guide, he seemed genuinely confused. A waterfall of sweat poured from him. A guffaw rang out, cutting off any further tirade. The guide scuttled off, and a giant hand came clapping down on my back.